Most people think education ends at school. That's why they lose. Because real power doesn't come from degrees, it comes from obsession. Dangerously overeducated doesn't mean you know a little about many things. It means you know too much about the thing you care about. So much that people can't compete with you. So much that talent becomes irrelevant. So much that excuses disappear. Look at the greats. They weren't just skilled, they were students. They studied longer than others were willing to. They asked questions others didn't think to ask. They went deeper when everyone else stopped. That's what made them dangerous. The biggest lie people believe is this: I'll learn when I need to. No, by the time you need it, it's already too late. Dangerously overeducated people prepare before the moment arrives. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for confidence. They study because mastery demands it. Ask yourself this: do you watch or do you study? Most people watch content, very few dissect it. Watching is passive, studying is violent. Studying means rewinding, pausing, breaking things down, asking why, testing ideas in real life. That's how skill is built. That's how intelligence compounds. When you know exactly what you want, something strange happens. The world starts teaching you, books speak louder, conversations hit deeper, mistakes turn into lessons. Because now you're not consuming randomly, you're hunting knowledge, and when you hunt knowledge, everything becomes useful. Dangerously overeducated people don't complain about their weaknesses, they study around them. Not fast enough, learn positioning; not strong enough, learn leverage; not talented enough, learn strategy. They don't cry about limitations, they build systems around them. That's intelligence. Here's something most people won't accept. To become elite, your life will become unbalanced. You will miss things. You will say no more than yes. People will not understand you, and that's fine, because greatness has a cost, and it's paid up front. Dangerously overeducated people choose long-term respect over short-term comfort. They don't live for applause, they live for mastery. They know that one day the results will speak so loudly that explanations won't be necessary. This is the mental switch. When it's time to work, nothing else exists. No ego, no embarrassment, no distractions, just focus, just execution. When failure happens, they don't panic. They don't personalize it. They analyze it. What went wrong? What do I need to learn? What do I fix next time? Emotion exits, logic enters. That's how progress accelerates. Over time, something dangerous happens. Your understanding becomes deep, your reactions become calm, your confidence becomes silent. You stop needing validation because you know. And once you reach that level, you are no longer competing, you are setting the standard. Most people think learning is about collecting information, reading more books, watching more videos, saving more posts, but dangerously overeducated people don't collect information. They weaponize it because knowledge without action is just entertainment, and entertainment never changed anyone's life. Here's a harsh truth: if you don't know why you're learning something, you're wasting time. Dangerously overeducated people don't ask, "What's interesting?" They ask, "What problem am I trying to solve?" Every skill they learn serves a purpose. Every book answers a question. Every video fills a gap. They don't binge content, they hunt answers. Before learning anything, ask, what will this help me do? What pain will this remove? What leverage will this give me? If you can't answer that, close the tab. Most people learn on the surface. They memorize, they repeat, they quote. But overeducated minds go deeper. They study how systems work, why decisions are made, where power actually sits. They don't ask, "What happened?" They ask, "Why did it have to happen this way?" They learn first principles, not opinions. That's how you stop being impressed. That's how you stop being manipulated. That's how you stop being average. When you know what you want, the world becomes your library. A conversation becomes a lesson. A mistake becomes data. A failure becomes feedback. Dangerously overeducated people are always studying human behavior, patterns, timing, emotions, incentives. They don't just live life, they analyze it. Every experience teaches them something. Most people experience pain, they extract wisdom. That's the difference. One skill makes you useful. Multiple skills make you unstoppable. Dangerously overeducated people don't chase random skills. They stack complementary ones like communication plus psychology, writing plus marketing technology, plus problem-solving discipline, plus emotional control. Skill stacking creates leverage. You don't need to be the best. You need to be rare, and rarity pays. Most people learn for quick wins. Overeducated minds learn for decades. They ask, will this still matter in 10 years? They invest in mental models, character, discipline, judgment. They're not rushing, they're compounding, and compounding always wins. Here's the final secret. You will never feel ready. Waiting for confidence is a trap. Confidence comes after action. Dangerously overeducated people move early. They test, they fail, they adjust. They don't wait to be experts. They become experts by doing. Learning happens fastest under pressure. Being dangerously overeducated doesn't make you loud. It makes you calm. You don't panic. You don't chase trends. You don't follow crowds. Because you understand what's happening. You see moves before they happen. You make decisions without noise. That's real confidence. That's real power. At some point, learning stops being exciting. The dopamine fades, the motivation disappears, and that's where most people quit. But dangerously overeducated people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline because they understand something most people don't. Real learning is boring before it becomes powerful. Anybody can learn when it's fun. Few can learn when it's repetitive, when it's slow, when nobody is watching. Dangerously overeducated people show up anyway. They read when others scroll. They practice when others rest. They study when others complain. That's why they pass people silently. No announcement, no noise, just progress. High performers don't wait to feel ready. They flip a switch. When it's time to learn, the world disappears. No emotions, no distractions, no excuses. Learning becomes their identity, not an activity. They don't ask, "Do I feel like studying today?" They ask, "What version of myself am I becoming today?" And then they act accordingly. Failure is information, nothing more, nothing less. Dangerously overeducated people don't get emotional about mistakes. They get curious. They ask, "Why did this fail? What was missing? What needs to change?" They detach ego from outcome. That's why embarrassment doesn't stop them. Criticism doesn't slow them. And setbacks don't break them. They adjust and move forward. Goals are fragile. Systems are permanent. Overeducated minds don't obsess over outcomes. They build systems that produce outcomes automatically. They don't say, "I want to be smart." They say, "I study every day." They don't say, "I want success." They say, "I improve my judgment," and results follow every time. Here's the part nobody likes to hear. Becoming dangerously overeducated has a price. You will be misunderstood. You will be lonely at times. You will outgrow people. Some relationships will fade. Some conversations will feel shallow. Some rooms will feel too small. And that's okay, because growth always creates distance, not arrogance, distance. Overeducated people are patient. They don't rush success. They don't force recognition. They don't chase applause. They're building something deeper: judgment, wisdom, mental strength. They understand that. Time rewards consistency. Knowledge compounds silently. Mastery takes years, and they're willing to wait. It doesn't mean you know everything. It means you can't be easily fooled. You don't panic under pressure. You see patterns others miss. You make decisions with clarity. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You don't need permission, because you understand the game. The future belongs to people who can think clearly in a noisy world. Not the loudest, not the fastest, not the most popular, but the most prepared. Education is no longer optional, it's protection. So read, study, practice, think. Become so educated that confusion can't touch you, fear can't control you, and manipulation can't reach you. Because the most dangerous person in the modern world is the one who understands how it all works.